Hi traders, David here from Wave Trader. I want to show you a series of long trades I'm currently in on the British pound Japanese yen currency pair, and this trade has been 2 days in progress, and I just want to show you how I got into this trade. So this week I decided to focus on just one currency pair at a time because of a new strategy I'm working on. So I decided to focus on the GbpJpy currency pair. So now this is the 1 hour chart. We are going to go to the weekly chart, and then I'm going to quickly jump to the monthly so that you can have an idea of what's going on. So this is the monthly chart on the GbpJpy currency pair, and you can see here that on the monthly chart we have what looks like a double bottom. It is a double bottom, and when we come to the end here, what do I see in reference to the wave trader system that can tell me something about the direction of the market? Well, first things first, I see positive divergence, okay, and this is a pretty extended one, okay. So this is positive divergence, and like I always say, whenever you see a positive or negative divergence situation, watch out for a wave bottom or wave top situation. So on the monthly chart, we have what looks like a wave bottom beginning to form here, and you can see that because this is a double bottom, it makes sense to see a wave bottom situation in this region as well. You can see here that we have a golden cross on the MACD, so it is possible that we are going to get a golden cross on the two EMAs probably in the next month or so, okay. And usually whenever the EMAs want to cross, this tends to happen. The market tends to dip or rally depending on the direction that you are in. And you can see that 1 2 3 4 5 for the past 5 months straight, our trend has been strongly bullish. So this looks like a dip, okay. This looks like a dip in this ongoing bullish trend here, but that is on the monthly chart, okay. So we are going to go lower and see what we see. So this is what's going on the weekly chart. Even though we have a dead cross on the MACD here, I submit to you that this is just a dip in an uptrend, okay. And of course this will take quite a while um to fully come to fruition, so you can still have a lot of plays here, sell and buy trades, okay. So we had a series of a bullish Elliott wave situation here with 1 2 3 4 5, and we also have this as 1 2, this whole thing here is 3, and in that case then we are in a fourth wave, okay. Waves within waves. But the most current candle on the weekly chart, you can see that it is green, and you can also see that we are at a region of this region is a very strong region of support and resistance. You can see how it acted as resistance here for several weeks, and now it's been acting as support for about 2 months, getting to 3 months now. So it makes sense to see that the market was going to respect this region and go up for a bit. So we are going to quickly go to the daily chart now, and as you can see, I'm using 4 charts to have a look. Since I'm focusing on just this currency pair, I just put the currency pair in different time frames on my screen, okay. It helps if you have more than one monitor, but I'm using my laptop here. So anyway, so this is the daily chart, and since we now know from the longer time frames, okay, that the trend is bullish, you can see here that we are bouncing off of a region of support, okay. You can see that clearly, even though we are not in a very good well-defined trend right now, but I can show you that we had an incidence of positive divergence here as well, okay. You may not see this quite well, but if you go lower to the 4-hour chart, you will definitely see this. So this is positive divergence, just like here, okay. And because this move down here did not quite get to the level of this lowest wick here, so I submit to you that this can be construed as a wave bottom situation. And if this is a wave bottom situation, then that means that this is the first wave, second wave, and we are just beginning the third wave on the daily chart. But we will not get full confirmation until we get a golden cross on the MACD and a golden cross on the EMAs. Okay, so if you are a position trader, you may want to wait for that confirmation before you think of acting on your analysis. But I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart now, and we'll have a look at what's going on the lower time frame. So this is the 4-hour chart, and you can see I've placed a lot of trades here. I think I placed about 5 trades or so here, and this was based on the fact that I saw that the trend was going to gain momentum. Okay, so I'm going to still go lower to show you how I got into the trade, but I just wanted to show you that you can see a lot more definition here. This is the divergence situation I was telling you about. You can see it very clearly here of price MACD to price. Okay, so for those of you who still don't know what divergence is, I will recommend that you go to a site like GbpJpy.com. It's a very good site, and you can read up on divergence, or you can just Google divergence. Okay, and make sure you understand what divergence is all about, because it happens all the time. For instance, there's an incidence of negative divergence here to the MACD, and you can see that pushed the market down. So, and this here is an incidence of positive divergence, and that should be able to push this market up. Okay, I believe that this market has the potential to get to possibly the second or third target of the 4-hour chart, but I'm just going to leave my profit targets here for now, and when the market comes to this region, I'll see what I can do about continuing the trade. Okay, so this is the 4-hour chart, and what do we see on the 4-hour chart now? Because whenever you see an incidence of let's just say positive divergence in this situation, I always like to look for a wave bottom situation after, and this is how I judge. So once the move down does not exceed the level, the second leg of the divergence scenario, then I have reason to believe that that becomes a wave bottom. So that means I can take here as my number 1 point, here as my number 2 point, and this point as my number 3 point. And that was what I capitalized on when I got into this trade. Okay, so we are just going to one moment, just making a quick calculation here. I seem to have need to extend this a little bit. Okay, this is the proper calculation here. So we're just going to quickly go to the 1-hour chart and see how I got into this trade. Okay, so just be patient with me, guys. So right, this is the 1-hour chart on the GbpJpy, and you can see we had our wave top situation here, which was first wave. This whole thing here was the second. This was the third wave. Okay, fourth wave, and we had the fifth wave here. So when I came to this chart yesterday, after I analyzed it top down, when I came to this chart, the market was hovering in this region. It hadn't crossed as yet. It was just here. Okay, and I'm just going to mark that region here. The market was here, as you can see, and because I'd already seen that we were bouncing off of an area of support, so I believe that this wave bottom situation was good for some pips. So as you can see, I put in a number of lot sizes here. They not big sizes, just small lots. I just wanted to test this theory. So I got in two orders here of 2 mini lots each, and you can see that the market pushed up strongly to this region. But because there was a lot of activity here, this is an area of intense. It was an area of support here, and now it became an area of resistance. And at the same time, if you were to count waves, this is the first wave on the 1-hour chart, second wave, third wave. So I knew that when the market began to reverse here, I knew that we're probably going into the fourth wave. Now, this tested my patience. I'm not going to lie to you, because one thing about trading is that if you are watching it in real time, you are going to ask yourself a lot of questions, and this is why it's good to have a system that you rely upon. Okay, so because the bigger time frames had shown me that our overall trend was going to be bullish, I had to bite my cheek and wait out this fluctuation. Okay, ordinarily I should have taken my profit here because this was about 40 pips. At this tip here, this would have given me 40 pips of profit, and you can see that I'd already placed four orders, and I placed the fifth just before the market turned around. So it really tested my patience because I got a drawdown here, but I was patient, and you can see that my patience has been rewarded. Okay, this order was placed just a short while ago, just before I started my recording. So even though the market has not been going up in a straight direction, okay, but I believe that once enough traders see this, is going to gain strength and momentum. So what do we see here? So we see our wave bottom situation here. You can see the golden cross on the EMAs, golden cross of the MACD here. Okay, so this fluctuation, this dip here, was good for another entry to have been made. If you had been watching this chart, this dip here was good for another entry to have been made. Okay, but I came in when the market pushed up, and I just got in another order here. So on the 1 hour chart, these are my price targets here, and you can see that I placed my profit targets just slightly above the 6 target at this region of resistance here. So I intend to wait and see if the market has the power to push up to this level, and that should take probably all of this week. Okay, so that means that if there's going to be any fluctuation in this region, any congestion, then that means that we are going to expect to push up into the next week for more bullish situations. So this is my take on the GbpJpy, and I hope that you got something out of this. Thank you very much, and happy trading.